I've had this concept in my head for quite some time now, probably since I was like 15, 16 years old, and I called it the void of the unknown. Now, if you guys know what a void is, it's basically just like a whole area of nothing. It's like a black hole basically. It's just like space. It's like nothing. There's literally nothing there. And I feel like our entrepreneurship journeys now and life in general are always the same, that like we don't know what our future holds for us. No one can mark down exactly what is going to happen in their head 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, a year from now, a month from now. No one knows where we're going to end up. And that's why it's called the void of the unknown, because we are entering a space, we are entering an area of our lives that we don't know what is going to happen, what the future holds for us, what God has planned for us. None of what our future holds is in our control. But what we could do about our future is how we can react to it, and how we could turn some of those bad things in our future, such as like losses, down times, just like the down times within your life, like how you could turn that into a lesson and how you could turn that into something that's good. And that's what I call the void of the unknown. It's like we don't know what is on the other side. I started 6 different businesses within the past 5 years, and I didn't know what the outcome of any of them was going to be. I might have had an idea like, oh, I'm gonna make a couple $100 here and there, make $1,000, make 10K, whatever. I didn't know what the real outcome was going to be. I could have thought those things were going to happen, but I, deep down inside, even though just knowing that it could happen, it's a possibility, I didn't know what was really possible for this. Excuse me, I'm still kind of sick. But I kind of want to get into this with trading and related to trading, because we kind of get into these months. Sometimes we get into these months where we think everything's going to be good. I made a good amount of money within 2024 or 2025. I'm sorry. Specifically in December and November. And I was assuming that 2026 was going to be the same year. It was going to be very similar, and I was going to progress even further within my life. But now we're 2 months in, and I have seen basically no progress ever since December. Ever since the end of December, I've seen basically zero progress. Now, I've seen progress within myself, but not within my actual journey within trading. Like, I haven't seen any payouts since December 22nd or something like that, a couple days before Christmas. I haven't gotten a payout ever since then, and we're already the first week. We're about to finish the first week of February. So it's like we are entering a space that we don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen in 5 minutes. There's so many things that can go wrong in our lives that we just don't know what could happen. We might have these ideas, these thoughts, these concepts within our mind that like everything good will work out, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing to have, because we always want to have a positive mindset around anything within our lives. Even when we're entering that void, that void of nothingness, we don't know what's going to happen to us. But at least if you have a positive mindset, then you could turn any negativity that happens within that void into something positive. And nowadays, especially a lot of younger generation, I feel like the younger generation is kind of scared to take that risk and enter that void. It's almost like you're entering a dark room that you've never been in and trying to find such a small thing. Think about like being completely blinded, like taking away all the light that you can, and trying to find like your phone in like a dark room that you've never been in. Try to imagine that. That's basically like how I think of the void. Of that void of the unknown. You're trying to find this one specific thing. You're trying to find your phone, but you just can't seem to find it because you're in such a dark area. So what you start doing, you start finding new ways to try to find that phone. You start feeling around, you start walking towards the walls, and you see, okay, this is the wall right here, and you start mapping out these things in your head. And that's how it is with building a business, is that you don't know where you're entering. You don't know how this is going to end up for you, but when you start feeling that wall, just like in that room, you start building your business online, and then eventually you've built it up completely. You've built up that website. You've built up the power to start making money. And then you start feeling where other things are in your room. You start feeling where the furniture is, and then you start mapping out, just like within going back to your business. You start mapping out how you can progress further, how you can get more clients, how you can get more sales. And then eventually you'll find your phone because you've mapped out everything in your room and then you figure it out. That's the way I kind of see it, because it's like we don't know what we're entering within our life. There's so many things that could go wrong. Within a split second, we could all die. You could, and I don't want to say that that's what is going to happen, but it's like we have to take our lives. We're taking our lives for granted sometimes. Like, we are so blessed to be alive, and that we have the opportunity to take the risk that not a lot of other people will take. There's a lot of people in this world that are on the complete opposite side of the country. They don't have a phone. They don't have access to a camera. They don't have access to a computer. But they would do anything to be in our position that we could be in right now. They would do anything to be in that void of nothingness, to try to get to a certain point where they can look back and like, wow, I did exactly what I wanted to do. I entered that void. I took that risk of getting lost in that void. I took that risk of dying in that void. I took that risk of going broke in that void. But what ended up happening is that you made it out.